area. Traffic conditions fairly light in this area of Garden Grove. We're still eastbound, but you did see him just blow through that signal there. And they had it. It looked like they might have had an opportunity to get him at Beach and Bolsa eastbound. I think he's still... stand by here. Here, you need me to zoom out? Just south. He's saying south. Stand by here, folks. We got to talk to air traffic control here. Look, there's the 405 in the distance there. No, you don't got the... Southbound on Bouchard is the street they're calling it. Go ahead. He's getting right to the 405. Go south to the 405. Okay, it started in Buena Park. Anaheim is assisting. We still don't know the one. All right. I think ahead. Almost ahead. He's going over the 405. Yeah. Well, we just found out that this has started with Buena Park, and Anaheim is assisting southbound Bouchard Street, getting into the Huntington Beach, Fountain Valley area. You got in there? Look at that sports field. All right, we're now cleared with air traffic control with John Wayne Tower, so we should be able to get back in here. Southbound Bouchard, getting into Fountain Valley. This started in Buena Park, and this is Anaheim PD assisting. They do have one of their choppers overhead as well. And, you know, I would say that with the chopper overhead, he's not going to get away, but you never know. We just had a chase last week where a suspect got away. Of course, that was on a motorcycle. And that was through downtown LA. But we've seen sedans evade police as well, so we'll see what happens here. But this guy definitely taking a lot of chances here, blowing a lot of signals, a lot of crowded intersections, flying along. Been averaging speeds, I would say, between 50 and 60 miles an hour. There you see PD holding traffic just to try to prevent any kind of collision or anything, getting any innocent people involved. Yorktown and Bouchard, this is... Still southbound on Bouchard. This is the longest he's been on any one street. Again, started in Buena Park, came direct south, high speeds, about 60 miles an hour flying on West Street, and then that ended at the 22, so he went westbound on Garden Grove Boulevard, and then was kind of hanging around Garden Grove and then doubled back, and now here we are southbound, well south of the 405 freeway at this point. I really felt like Anaheim PD had a chance to stop him at a signal where he was stuck behind a couple of other cars. No word yet if this suspect is armed and dangerous. That makes me think perhaps they have that information, and maybe that is why they didn't move in on him. If they suspect that he's armed and dangerous, obviously they're going to give him a lot more space than they're going to give another suspect that they do not think is armed. Still southbound, headed towards the coast here on this very warm Sunday. A ton of people at the beach. We'll see what his next move is going to be, but still southbound, I believe, on Bouchard. We're several miles south of the Huntington Beach Pier, paralleling the Santa Ana River. So, heading down towards lovely Newport Beach. Looks like a Chrysler 300 sedan, big heavy sedan. Southbound Bouchard approaching Hamilton now. All right, through another red light. The vast majority of these pursuits involve stolen vehicles, but we have not confirmed that yet. I'm hearing Anaheim PD talking about having a canine unit join the fray here. Right through stop sign. Southbound Bouchard from Banning. Just kind of zoom out and show you here. Getting very close to the water. Let's see if he's going to go down to a Pacific Coast Highway or what. Looking like he's Brookhurst. So Brookhurst south, and then PCH is right here. And now is he going to go north or south on PCH, or perhaps flip around? Let's see. Southbound on PCH. Southbound on Pacific Coast Highway, going to be heading into Newport Beach, and he's probably going to encounter a lot of traffic if he continues on PCH here. Yeah, I mean, you can see how much more crowded. Of course, speed limits are a lot higher here on this section of PCH, but he's going to be getting into a more congested section through the heart of Newport Beach here, going over the Santa Ana River right now. Marcus, is that Anaheim chopper? Do you know? Huntington Beach. That's a Huntington Beach police chopper. So several agencies involved. And again, this started in Buena Park. So you've got Buena Park, you've got Anaheim, then you have some air assistance from Huntington Beach. He was gonna made it look like he was gonna go left, but still southbound on PCH. A little bit. Hey, they're being requested to go up a little bit. I think we're having trouble with our signal. Can we climb a little? All right, we'll see what we can do. TOC, this is okay. Okay, yeah. We're in restricted John Wayne space. Is there a better antenna? Look at this, right through this intersection. There are people right there. Tons of people out here enjoying this beautiful Southern California day. But continuing south, here comes the pit. Oh, he tried. He was going to pit him, but he saw it coming and he sped away. Look at that. Anaheim police determined there was a good opportunity there to try to bring this to an end, and he just slammed on that gas pedal and sped right away. And now speeds are really picking up. And this is why sometimes it seems like the agencies act a bit conservatively, because if something like that happens, look at speeds pick up, this guy starts driving, even crazier, and could be jeopardizing more people. So that's why a lot of times, you know, we speculate, why did they do something here? Why didn't they do something there? It has to be at the perfect opportunity. Wow, look at this, super erratic, weaving in and out, wrong way. A couple of close calls there. And this is what I was talking about, more congested area of PCH here by a lot of the luxury car dealerships. Right through the heart of, okay, now turning off of PCH. Headed northbound. Looks like Anaheim's giving him a little space right now. I think did I just hear him say they're canceling the pursuit? After all that craziness, I have to confirm this, but I may have just heard Anaheim PD say that they're canceling. Yeah, a lot of the units are canceling the pursuit now. I think they're going to be content to follow this from the air for now because of that crazy driving that you saw there. So we're northbound still in Newport Beach in some very nice residential areas. They're going to probably try to coordinate something with Huntington Beach from the air and then hope that he turns into a one-way neighborhood, a one-way street or something like that, maybe into a cul-de-sac, and then they could pin him in. But after you saw that craziness there that could have very easily resulted in something tragic, Anaheim PD decided to pull off on this. And we've just got Huntington Beach police overhead in their chopper. Try to get you some streets here in a second. I think I heard northbound at Irving. And I'm wondering if this guy thinks that he got away. Maybe is unaware that the chopper is still overhead. Maybe he knows. Let's see if he's going to... How far back are they? Yeah. Okay, just turned here. We're getting into the Irvine area. Dover. We're northbound on Dover now. Northbound Dover heading through Anaheim, or excuse me, Irvine, getting pretty close to the outskirts of Irvine, kind of still on the border with Newport Beach. Yeah. Just zoom out here to show you, but there's nobody right behind him anymore. And it's this purple, burgundy, whatever you want to call it, Chrysler 300 that we're watching. Really dangerous stuff earlier in the pursuit. In fact, I believe this is not even officially a pursuit at this point because it just got so dangerous. Go ahead. Copy, 459. We'll be going live on CBS 2 with this shortly, if this continues. Looks like Santiago Drive we're crossing. So we're kind of drifting back towards the 405 freeway. This chase has not been on freeways at all, at least not to our knowledge, certainly not since we picked it up. Again, started at Buena Park, had several agencies. Anaheim PD was kind of the primary pursuing agency. At one point they were talking about trying to get some K9 units on this. Huntington Beach has been overhead in their chopper down below, so they're still keeping an eye on things. And this is more of a following now than a pursuit. And as you can see, his speeds have certainly calmed back down, but that doesn't mean they're just going to let this guy get away. They're going to look for a better opportunity here. Just crossed Isabella Street. Zoom out here and give you some perspective. I believe that's the bird sanctuary over just south of John Wayne Airport that you're seeing there to the right of the shot. I think the various agencies are still trying to determine what their next move is going to be on this guy, and we're still trying to confirm what exactly set all this in motion. A lot of times these are stolen vehicles or their failure to yield, but we haven't confirmed that. Crossing University now, so we're not too far from the northbound Irvine from University. So we're really kind of getting into the heart of Irvine now, heading back towards the 405 freeway. Mesa Drive, crossing Mesa Drive, still northbound on Irvine. Very close to John Wayne Airport now, so. Yes, hello, Booth. Irvine. Are we going to cue some of that video from earlier when it was kind of crazy through Newport Beach? Yeah, well, he was going to come in with a pit, and then it didn't quite work. He sped away, and it just got kind of crazy for about 5 seconds. Okay, copy that. All right, crossing the 73 toll road now, still along Irvine Boulevard. Okay, copy that. I'll try to call for it early. Well, now he's kind of speeding up again. He calmed down there for a bit. Let's zoom out and see if. Negative, we're in Irvine. Peter and Susie, okay. So we're on the east side. Are we on the east side of the airport now? Yeah. On the east side of John Wayne Airport now. We had to get clearance to cross over. Fortunately, we were able to do that. That's just interesting to always watch. Well, no, not exactly obeying laws, but just turned away from campus. So we're in a big commercial zone of Irvine here. Lots of commercial buildings, warehouses. These streets tend to be fairly empty on weekends, crossing Douglas Avenue. MacArthur. Two minutes. Northbound on MacArthur Boulevard. All right, parallel to John Wayne Airport. Right over the 405 freeway on MacArthur, one of the widest streets here. And it's Main Street, I believe we're going to be crossing. One minute. This is where MacArthur bends back around to the 55 freeway and then actually crosses back with Main Street. So he'll be headed west and basically into the Costa Mesa area at this point. Costa Mesa, by the way, Booth. Crossing Red Hill, another huge street, huge intersection there. We're at Costa Mesa. That's right, Peter and Susie. Now, the situation looks fairly calm for the time being, but it was very crazy earlier. This is a pursuit that started in Buena Park. Anaheim police gave a big assist here. They were the big pursuing agency here. They were basically the lead agency, and then we still have Huntington Beach PD overhead in their chopper, but you're not going to see any units right now because it was so dangerous earlier, and we want to show you that video back when he was on Pacific Coast Highway headed through Newport Beach, that they have now downgraded this to a following. They tried, we have some video to show you earlier where there were some pedestrians in harm's way that just was kind of a narrow miss, and then when Anaheim PD was about to come in with the pit maneuver, but he saw it coming, he slammed on the gas pedal, sped away, and we saw very high speeds on southbound Pacific Coast Highway, probably 60 or 70 miles an hour. At one point started worming onto the wrong side of the street, and that's when Anaheim PD decided to call this one off, and they are calling this a following right now. And so now this is a Burgundy Chrysler 300. We're still trying to get the want on this. We haven't confirmed if this is a stolen vehicle or what. We are in the Costa Mesa area here, pretty close to the South Coast Plaza. I believe we're still westbound on MacArthur, and this is the vehicle that had been in pursuit, but again, this has been downgraded to a following now, essentially from overhead, just because it got so dangerous earlier with so many people out there enjoying this beautiful, beautiful coastal weather. Peter and Susie. That's a good question, Susie. We haven't been able to see that yet. It's, we kind of got this glare. Let me kind of zoom in right now and look. I don't think I see anyone in the passenger side or in the back seat. So at this point, I think we're just going to say that it's only the driver, only the suspect. And we are moving northbound now. Try to get to a street for you, but we are northbound away from MacArthur, headed through Costa Mesa, kind of going to be headed back towards the Santa Ana City of Orange area, I believe. Yeah, that is a good question. I haven't heard any talk about a spike strip or anything like that, and we're northbound on Main. That's where we're at right now. So, I'm thinking that they may wait for him, kind of see where he's going to head to, try to get to his destination and head him off there. They do have the airship overhead, so they're not worried about losing him at this point, or perhaps he's going to turn down a one-way street or cul-de-sac, and then they can pin him in. But I'll zoom out here and show you. We haven't seen anyone behind him here for quite some time. And I'm zooming way out, and there's nobody at all in tow right now. So, we're watching this car, and you would just think that this is any other car out here, but it's not. This was a car that had been in pursuit earlier, a suspect, still an unknown want on this. And, yeah, it is, they were calling for a canine unit earlier. I heard them talking about that back when they were in pursuit. So they're just kind of watching overhead, and they're going to have to see what kind of, his level of aggression is going to be. But you have seen, at the very least, things are calmed down for the moment. People are in a lot less danger than they had been even just 10 or so minutes ago. Okay, copy. Main and Warner, turning westbound on Warner. Okay, now here comes a cop. Up. Let's see if this is going to take back off here. Go ahead. Yes, sir. Okay, copy. We do have a cop behind him again. It looks like this, maybe Santa Ana PD. I don't know. Still no idea on the one or anything, huh? Okay, going to come back in a minute, copy. I think this is Santa Ana PD now that's behind him. We're going to be going live again on CBS with this. Yes, I believe we are. Well, actually, guys, are we going north right now? So yeah, we are headed into Santa Ana. Bristol. Bristol, Edinger, westbound Edinger. Copy that. Just up. Okay. That's Douglas, I believe they said. Well, yes, it was. It looked like, yes, they look like the pursuit has reinitiated. This is Santa Ana PD. We're going to try to get around this tree for you here. Now looking at backing up. Well, I think he realized he was going into a wrong-way street. And, you know, look what happens now. You turn this, it turns back into a pursuit, and the guy starts driving a lot more crazy. And this is why they backed off earlier. And let's show you some footage from earlier when it was really wild, southbound on PCH when we were in Newport Beach. There's a pretty close call there with some pedestrians through an intersection, and then they also tried to pit him, and he saw it coming. He saw the Anaheim PD getting ready to accelerate into his bumper and spin around, so he slammed on the gas pedal, and we got up to some very dangerous speeds. So now we're back on to Edinger. So we were really hoping there when he turned down Douglas that he was going to turn down a wrong-way street and that Santa Ana PD was going to be able to come in and bring this to an end. But now we're westbound on Edinger, and so we're going to be coming back, I believe, into the Costa Mesa area. We were briefly in Santa Ana there. That was northbound. We were also northbound on Bristol. So westbound on Edinger now as we kind of head back towards the 405 freeway. And it looks like it is now Santa Ana PD that is in pursuit. So we've had Buena Park. This is where this originated, and then Anaheim was in control for a while. Huntington Beach is overhead, and now Santa Ana PD has also joined the fray on this, Peter and Susie. Yeah, well, we didn't pick this up until I got into Garden Grove, but I heard them talking about this, or the cross chatter, and he was really flying along some streets actually pretty close to Disneyland. So he started north of Disneyland and Buena Park down West Street, and they were talking about very high speeds, around 60 or even 70 miles an hour. And you know how many people are out there in those crowded crosswalks around Disneyland, so we didn't actually pick this up until we got into the Garden Grove area and when he was headed down to the coastal cities. But most of the time that the agencies have been in pursuit, this guy has been driving like a maniac. And here we are. This is, again, Santa Ana PD, we believe, in pursuit. This is actually a sheriff's. This is, you know what, yeah, this is Orange County Sheriff's, it looks like. Now, this is going to be the primary. So I believe I said Santa Ana PD, but it looks like this is Orange County Sheriff's in pursuit now of this Chrysler 300. We still have not confirmed this. I think I heard them talking stolen vehicle, but that has not been confirmed yet at this point, Peter and Susie. Yeah, you know, they just they have to wait for the perfect opportunity. We have to be sure too that this unit is pit certified. They have to get that cleared by the commander back at base who's monitoring all this. So a ton of factors go into this. Like I said earlier, Anaheim PD tried to come in with that pit. It looked like the perfect opportunity, even though it was kind of crowded out there on Pacific Coast Highway, but it didn't succeed. And then it sounded like Anaheim just kind of didn't want to be involved in this. They didn't want the liability of this, and they backed off. There's the Huntington Beach chopper that you see in pursuit. So still, multiple agencies in pursuit of this. I don't know why I haven't heard of a spike strip. That seems like it would be pretty wise, but you know, we don't know if this suspect may be armed and dangerous. They may have that information that we don't have yet, and so that, of course, completely changes tactics. You know, if they believe that the suspect is armed. No, you know what? No, it has not, Susie. We've seen pretty much everything but the freeway at this point. It's been surface streets entirely. He's been on some very big streets all over the place: MacArthur, Main Street, Bristol, Pacific Coast Highway. Of course, we're on Harbor right now. I believe we are southbound on Harbor, so we should be approaching the freeway here pretty shortly. And we'll see what the next move is going to be. This is Sunflower Avenue, southbound Harbor, away from Sunflower Avenue, and we are getting pretty close to the 405 freeway. Yeah, this is kind of sometimes what we've coined pursuit traffic. A lot of times it's just incredible how lucky these suspects can get with very light traffic. Now, he was in some commercial areas earlier in the Irvine area over by John Wayne Airport, and those are always pretty empty on weekends. But yeah, you know, it's Father's Day. The weather's beautiful. A lot of people you would think would be out here enjoying the weather, but these streets have been pretty empty besides, of course, Pacific Coast Highway. So we're turning now away from Harbor Boulevard. We're headed westbound. This was Vale Place. Just heard them call, and now getting back into some residential areas. So let's see if perhaps he makes a wrong turn, and we'll see if Orange County Sheriffs can bring this to a halt. We are, I think we are, yes. We're kind of on the border of Costa Mesa and Fountain Valley right now. It's kind of hard to say, you know, Peter. Every chase is different, and again, we haven't heard anything about spike strips at this point. I mean, one of the tactics may just be to let this guy do what he's going to do and run out of gas, or again, if they're going to wait for him to, you know, they may have an idea of where he's headed to, and they can head him off. You know, they do have the airship overhead who can kind of help guide other units around and perhaps try to pin him in. Well, now he's getting back out of a residential street. It looks like he's, I believe they said eastbound Deisler, coming up on Harbor. So we're still in the Costa Mesa area. Right through another intersection, another red here, going back underneath the 405 freeway. So essentially looping around from where we just were, northbound on Harbor. You know, he's blown through countless stoplights and stop signs. But the way this is going now, it's actually not quite as dangerous as it had been earlier. Not to make light of the situation. Well, here you go. Oh, getting really close there with that. It looked like a BMW 5 Series would have totally ruined that guy's Father's Day. And they get through another busy intersection, northbound on Harbor, getting away from, you know what, I think he's, stand by here for some other surface streets, but we're still northbound on Harbor. Let me see if I can listen in here and see if I can get any of the inside information here that Orange County Sheriffs are talking about. Sorry, I was listening there, Peter. We just turned west on Warner away from Harbor, if you were asking where we're at. So, yeah, westbound on Warner, just going over the Santa Ana River there, I believe. And, it continues. That's, what else can we say here? Trying to determine what their next move is going to be. Maybe this officer is waiting for a better opportunity to do a pit maneuver. There was another opportunity much earlier, even before all the craziness on PCH, where he was stuck behind some cars at a left turn at a busy intersection, and Anaheim PD got on both sides of him. And, I was thinking maybe they were going to try to pin him in. I'm not sure why they didn't. That was New Hope that we just crossed westbound still on Warner at this point. That makes me think that this suspect may be armed for them to take such a conservative approach when they had units on both sides of him. And then the light turned green, and he sped away. So not sure what the deal was there, but it certainly looked like, I'm trying not to be an armchair police officer, but that this could have been over earlier. It's very possible, or perhaps it's a very serious want on this. Perhaps the charges are much worse than a stolen vehicle, and so that can definitely influence the way law enforcement approaches these different things. So yeah, it was perplexing to me, not having all of the information as to why they did not bring it to an end right there. And even this right here, especially on these streets where it's not very crowded. It certainly seems like it would be a good opportunity to do a pit maneuver, but it may be that this officer is not certified for that maneuver, or again, that the commander who's been monitoring this has some other information that we're not yet privy to. Whoa. Yeah, we're southbound on Bouchard now, just turned away from Warner. Going to be crossing right over there. You see the 405 freeway, so crossing over the 405, kind of looping around at this point. We'll see. Last time he was on this street, and then he took this all the way down to PCH, and that's where we really saw the madness earlier, the most frightening moments of this pursuit. So we'll zoom in here, and I'll... Yeah, I would suspect that as well. I mean, he can't possibly imagine that he's going to shake law enforcement at this point, not with a chopper overhead and with this unit so close in pursuit. There have, of course, been a few pursuits that we've covered where we've watched some suspects take maneuvers, and they have been able to avoid law enforcement at least for at least a few more hours. Perhaps this person is just trying to enjoy what he knows is going to be, or he or she knows is going to be the last moments of their freedom for however long they're going to go to jail for this. They just crossed Talbert southbound on Bouchard. So yeah, that is most of the time that Peter going through neighborhoods that they know very well, but there's really no chance of him getting away. Sometimes I always think, well, they police, and so they're going to use some tricks to get away, but that is not going to happen this time. Whoa. Yeah, right between two cars there, southbound Bouchard, just crossing Ellis. So, yeah, even though the speeds aren't particularly high at this moment, you just saw right there an incredibly dangerous maneuver going right between two cars, and then going earlier, all the way to the right, and then making a really dangerous left turn in front of 3 or 4 vehicles. So speeds are not dangerous, or it's just the kind of erraticness at this point that's dangerous. Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, Peter, I did just hear them call for a PIT certified officer, so that tells me that this officer is not PIT certified. So if that is the case, that would answer that question. So hopefully they're, from the chatter that I'm hearing right now, it does sound like they want to bring another unit in and try to bring this to an end. Here we go. Well, or for the pit. And that's exactly what's happening now, Susie. Yeah, speeds have really picked up. We're probably at about 60 miles an hour, still southbound on Bouchard. This was the street that he was on earlier as well. And, Peter, you did call, for spike strips earlier. I really wish that they would. Look, at this officer now is getting very aggressive. He really wants to bring this to an end, but doing a pit at these speeds is incredibly dangerous. And I think I just saw a couple of pedestrians out there as well. So this suspect is really giving law enforcement fits right now. Yeah, I just heard another. I don't want to give the tactics away right now, Peter, but it sounds like they are preparing some other tactics right now. So it sounds like they want to deploy, maximum aggressiveness here and try to bring this to an end. So hoping from what I just heard that we are going to see this conclude fairly soon. You saw again there. Oh boy. Excuse us here for 1 second. He just came really close to hitting a motor officer right there, who was actually running a traffic brake there to keep pedestrians out of the way, and he almost got hit as well. Excuse us here for just 1 second. We got to get back in position. And climb if you can. Yeah, absolutely a huge concern, and that's why they want to bring this to an end. You know, this has really gotten totally out of control, and you just saw how close that guy came to clipping a motorcycle officer who was running a brake to try to keep pedestrians and civilians out of the way here. That officer, from what I was hearing, may have even had a spike strip on him as well. So they are now talking about using those tactics right now. But look at, you saw how aggressive that police cruiser came in trying to do the pit maneuver, and then he just got so crazy. So we are, I believe, southbound, heading back eastbound. Excuse me. We're now eastbound, kind of heading towards John Wayne Airport right now. I believe I heard Hamilton Street. Let me just tune in again here for one more second and see if I can hear what Orange County sheriffs are talking about. Northbound. Do you guys know what agency that is behind him? Any idea? I know. Go ahead. Yeah, copy that. It's been a pretty wild pursuit. Let me try to get some surface streets for you guys here. But the agencies in pursuit have been changing constantly, and I believe Huntington Beach's chopper had to go back for fuel, and now we have Orange County's chopper overhead. So we've had continuous air support and continuous support from the ground from many different agencies. This all started in Buena Park. At one point, Anaheim was assisting, no longer at this point, and then after the craziness in Newport Beach on southbound PCH, where we saw a couple of very close calls involving both cars and pedestrians at very high speeds, they backed off for about 20 minutes, let this guy do what he was going to do. He didn't stop, and so Orange County sheriffs became the units in pursuit. And now we have yet another agency that has gotten involved here and trying to get that one. It looks like that's Costa Mesa. Okay, so this is Costa Mesa PD now that is the primary in pursuit. And the Orange County unit that was on did not appear to be pit certified, which is why we didn't see that. It seemed like really good conditions for a pit maneuver, but that never materialized until another agency's pit certified unit came in and got very aggressive with it, but so did the driver. And so now they're kind of backed off a little bit, and now it looks like Costa Mesa has decided to get a piece of this. Now look at this on Bristol. Still eastbound, away from Bristol. We're going to be coming up to John Wayne Airport here momentarily, and may have some airspace restrictions, so stand by. But about an hour now on this pursuit of this Chrysler 300. And mum's the word from Buena Park as far as the want. We have not been able to get that information from them. I thought at one point that I heard something about a stolen vehicle.